everybody, this is John Bain. I want to welcome you to Fortnite Creative. And I want to take this time today to go over the new patch notes coming out in version 7.01. There's been some great updates in the creative stuff, so let's go right to it. In creative, islands, the block. There's a new 5th island to build on, provides the exact block that appears in your battle royale when your creations could appear. That's super important, especially since there's been a lot of comments about like the one I've done is too big, blah blah blah, a lot of different things like that. So interesting to see actually get a visual representation of what it is that we can actually build the size of. Featured islands. Added 4 featured island rifts. Featured islands will be changed over time as we feature the community's creations. Featured maps can be played. The rules are set by the creator. Also use the featured rifts to enter codes from others creators. So now they've got when you log into the game, you can see that there's a couple different creators already uploaded up in there, and it is actually initially only limited players that can support a creator program will have access to this feature. And then over time, the number of players who can publish islands will, as they polish the feature, use the code, go to a feature rift, select enter code, and follow the instructions. And then we can post our creations on these 3 places, which I do. And we will see what the deal is. Now, there's been some bug fixes. Fix an issue where responding on Creative Hub could cause your player to leave the island. Fix various problems with island rifts not functioning correctly. Fix island rifts not showing the correct island name and player count in some cases. Fixed an issue that prevented player inventory from being reset when returning to the Creative Hub. Fix players appearing to fall through the ground and replays when teleporting between islands. Fix bug where the same friend server could appear multiple times in Creative Server Select. Fix an issue that prevented players from placing building tiles on certain islands. And then also fix an issue where players would not be able to spawn on your island when the building tiles or props were in the way. So there's been a number of bug fixes for only being out for a short time. It's been a week now, and that's pretty cool. We now have 6 new prefabs. The pieces look like have an Asian influence to them, which I really like, like a modern Asian influence on them. It's really neat. There's some pieces in there I really can't wait to play with, and I'm sure you guys are excited to do that too. On top of that, also they added in, they split up the obstacle course gallery. So now it's got 4 separate gallery prefabs: floors, walls, roofs, stairs, and parts. Which that's stairs and parts are probably the same thing, because that would be 5. And yeah. Also now there's an indestructible gallery, which is great. This gallery contains props that cannot be destroyed by weapons. New indestructible props and building tiles were added to this gallery prefab. A few other prefabs were updated with new building tiles and props. They also added new devices, so now we have the new item spawner. Drop any item on this device to have it spawn 1 item at a time during games, which is amazing. And let's land and see what the deal is. Go back to you, and we can drop an item on it to spawn. So let's go to consumables. Let's add in the little balloon. Add equip. There we go. And press 2. There we go. And we can drop it in here. And X. Drop. So now it has it in there and it spawns it. Okay. And there's the item spawner. Okay. That's pretty cool. So this offers us like some gameplay action in it. That's pretty neat. Can we put in more items than just this? Let's find out. Creative, let's add in that. And then let's just go to play, drop you. So I don't know if it overwrote. There we go. Okay. Ah, it shows both. Awesome. New player checkpoint plate. Run across the checkpoint during a game, and the next time you die, you'll respawn there. Player spawn device can now be customized to spawn only players on a specific team number. The team number is displayed on the plate, except when the game is in progress. Player spawn device can now be set, can be an island start instead of a game start. This can be used to set where the players arrive when they visit your island when not in play mode, which is nice. Also, they have some bug fixes for the devices. Fix issues with multiple devices able to be placed on top of one another. Fix damage rails being able to be placed on top of themselves. Fix vehicles not being removed from their vehicle spawner is deleted. Fixed a problem that would cause devices to malfunction after being saved and loaded. Fixed certain devices becoming indestructible after loading your server on a new server, loading your island on a new server, which I had that problem. Now, in gameplay, new settings in My Island menu. Starting health can now be set to invincible. This prevents players from taking any damage on your island. Building damage in-game. This can be disabled to prevent island structures from being damaged in-game. Has no effect on structures built by players during the game. When stopping a game, players are now returned to where they were before the game started. We also have bug fixes on this too. Player inventory is now reset when the game is started and also after it finishes. Fix games being called mini-games in the UI in some places. Fix eliminated players respawning on the same spawn pad in some cases. Fix the down but not out game setting not functioning correctly. Fix players not being able to damage structures in-game after editing privileges were revoked by the island owner. Fix the bug where disabling falling damage would not be remembered when loading your island. I've had that happen. So now we have creative tools in phone. Added collision option. Collision can now be turned on and off when moving props, which is nice. Toggle collision by holding V on a desktop or D-pad hold on a controller. When collision off, props can freely move through any other object, but not under terrain. Grid snap. Snap uses better settings for each individual prop. This allows props to align better to the Fortnite world grid, which is great. Renamed help text for certain actions to be more clear. Pickup is now cut. While holding something, copy is now paste. Your phone settings are now remembered as you move between islands, respawn, or play games on islands. Vehicles can no longer be deleted by players while players are using them. Darn it! Added some additional sound effects when toggling options on the phone. So now we have some bug fixes for this too. Fix props and building tiles being able to be placed outside the island's savable area. Fix props sometimes not placing exactly where the hologram preview shows it when the drop option was enabled. Fix an issue with the grid snap where props would not actually align to the grid when placing them down quickly. Had that happen. Fix various problems when interacting with the mirrored building tiles, which I had that happen too. Fix some issues with placement of props being denied unexpectedly. Fix an issue where props could vanish after you pick them up. Fix some props that were not able to be moved using the phone, which I couldn't do that on some things too. Fix hologram animations not playing on certain props when you pick them up. Also now under fly, you can now switch to fly while your glider is deployed by double tapping the jump button. Thank you. Holding down the jump button on will now consistently fly upwards even on a keyboard. Improve fly animations, especially when using items or interacting. Bug fixes. Fix bouncers being destroyed when flying on top of them. Fix certain devices not affecting respawn players who were eliminated while flying. Teams. Players will now be on the same team and voice channel when entering a server. Players who join a session in progress will now always be added to Team 1. Players are now spread evenly between available team spawns when possible. Players on the same team will now see team identifiers during a game. Remove the redundant team spawn pad option. Bug fixes. Fix players not all starting on the same team when first entering an island. Fix players not being on correct teams when starting a game. Fix players being able to switch teams while in the middle of a game. Fix players not being able to switch to specific teams in some cases. New weapons item bug fix. Fix not being able to stack up porta-fortress grenades in creative. UI and social. Added a new pop-up tutorial pop-up to inform users about changing island permissions when another player joins the game session. Players no longer join your session in progress when your party is set to private. Bug fixes. Fix wrong creative server being selected in some cases when choosing a server using a controller. Interacting with chests, and supply llamas now takes the intended amount of time. Fix the creative inventory not being displayed while skydiving or gliding. Fix the wrong number of players showing next to the name in the friends list. Fix friend servers showing on creative server select after they become empty. Fix various issues with friend status and creative and player counts. Fix being able to access creative inventory when the creative hub is in certain cases. Fix various problems with in-game tutorial pop-ups. Performance. Improve the load times of island content when first starting a server, which is nice. To improve server performance, the maximum number of vehicle spawners on island has been limited to 32. Reduce memory usage when switching between islands on the same server. Improve performance of particle systems with large number of placed traps. And then on the mobile, added a new button that toggles collision on the phone. Added new state system creative buttons to make their actions more clear. Fixed the memory use bar from being covered up by the mobile UI. So that is all the new updates, which is a humongous to me in creative, and it's a welcome set of updates. They are on top of the game, as Epic is known for doing. And yeah, so you guys leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think about the updates. Let me know what you think. And as always, thank you so very much. And you guys have a good night.